If you're only in Venice for a day or two, then I think you should seriously consider staying here at H10 Palazzo Canova in the San Polo district of Venice. Not only are we just mere steps away from the Rialto Bridge, but we're also really close to the other main sites like Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Square, and St. Mark's Basilica. But I actually really love that we're on this side, the San Polo side of the Rialto Bridge, and not in San Marco, and I'm gonna tell you why in a bit. As for the hotel itself, the hotel was completely renovated as recently as 2018-2019, but is set in a 19th century building with the original facade. So the rooms here are very airy, bright, and spacious, but it feels completely contemporary. So in this video, first, I'm actually gonna go back in time to when I first checked in. I'm staying here in room 112, which is a superior double with city view, and I'm gonna give you a full walkthrough of what a room looks like immediately upon check-in. Then we're gonna come back here and I'm gonna do my full hotel review, the highlights, my pros and cons, who I think this hotel is for and who maybe shouldn't stay here, as well as what I paid. And if this hotel is not for you, guaranteed I stayed at a hotel that would suit you better. I'm in Venice for 16 nights, staying at 12 hotels all across the city. So I actually wrote an entire guide to where to stay in Venice on travellemming.com, linked in the description box below. Oh, and by the way, the hotel has no idea that I'm doing this review. Travel Lemming does completely independent reviews just like this one to give travelers honest recommendations about where to stay, things to do, all that good stuff in cities around the globe. Oh, and by the way, be sure to use the timestamps to skip around the video to the part that interests you most. With that, let's go back in time to my full room walkthrough of room 112, a superior room with city view. Okay, I am here at the H10 Palazzo Canova, checking into room 112, the superior double with city view. This is a gorgeous first look. First impressions definitely are that it's nice, it's bright and airy, big windows. So I was actually reading up about this hotel and the colors are very about Venice. So you have the gold here, and that's the gold of St. Mark's Basilica and the mosaics. Then you have the teal, which is the teal of the canals, and any black embellishments are supposed to be for the gondolas. So I just think that's a really cool, unique design element here. So it looks very modern as well, which the hotel was just renovated actually in 2019. Okay, I guess let's start over here. Let's start with the bed, because that's a key feature. Bedside table over here. Oh, the lights are for the whole room. Oh, separate areas, actually. So that's good. I like having separate access to lighting on the side of the bed. And then there's also right there, if you can see, a USB port, a lamp, got the phone. Nice big bed. So the first thing that I noticed about this bed, too, was that it's a king size, but you can kind of see a dip in the middle here, which if you are sharing a bed with someone who is a little bit wiggly, I myself am a little bit wiggly while I sleep. This is a really good feature, so you don't necessarily are disturbing each other while you sleep. These pillows look wonderful. Oh my goodness. There's actually 3 different densities of pillows, so whatever your pillow style, I personally love a big fluffy pillow. You can choose. I love that feature. That's a really unique feature, actually. As for the bed itself, I would say so far 10 out of 10. I'll review this later on, like of what it's like sleeping on this bed, but it feels very firm yet plush, not too much in either direction. So I really like that. Then we've got this nice big chaise. Very nice. Lots of pillows. This is just impeccably styled. Everything feels very modern, very like contemporary. We've got reading lights on both sides of the bed as well. Love that. Another USB plugs, TV or remote, sorry. Okay, all right, let's check out this view. So this is a city view room. Here we go. So we have Venetian streets. And then the Grand Canal would be over that way. It'd be quite a bit over that way. Wonderful. I love it. Very pretty. Okay, let's look back. The second half of the room. I love this like mural with the closet's over there. Oh, I forgot. I should go back over there, actually. We're going to check that out next. TV. Okay, while we're over here, let's do this. We have welcome cookies. Chair. Another view, much like our last view, so I won't open up this window. What it does say, too, is that there are mosquito nets. So our last few hotel rooms, there's been a bit of an issue with mosquitoes if you leave the windows open. So I love that they have mosquito nets in here. TV, coffee station. So we have espresso machine. We have caramel biscuits. Ooh, what else do we have here? We have the espresso. We have creamer. Intense espresso. Nice. All right, we have a couple bottles of water. Some decor, lamp. Wonderful. So the porter, of course, already brought up our bags, but there's some art behind that. Love that. All right, let's check out these cabinets here. There we go. Okay, so we have a safe. We have a laundry bag, mini bar with a bottle opener. I love when they include one of those. Let's just look at these prices here for a second. I think those are perfectly... It's basically what you would get in Venice for any of this. €5 for a mineral water. I think that is pretty standard for this city. Then we have the full mini bar over here. We have some beers. We have Prosecco, waters, sodas, juice, nuts, cups. Very nice. What else we got going on over here? Oh, I see an extra blanket, an extra pillow up there. I think these are just empty. Yeah, those drawers are empty. Let's go into this cabinet. Lots of cabinet space. You don't have to have your luggage all over the place. Umbrella. That's actually the first umbrella I've seen in Venice so far in a hotel, and this is now our 6th hotel that we're staying at in Venice doing reviews of, so have to make a note of that. Actually, this is a laundry bag. I think the other one was just a regular shopping bag, and then you have more pillows and blankets up there. Hangers. Nice. All right, and now the last feature of the room. Let's go into the bathroom. Nice, spacious bathroom. Bidet, toilet, big sink. Let's see, we have... Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to use both hands for this. Sorry, folks. What's in here? We have a shower cap. Oh, look, it's a vanity kit. Kind of figured that's what it would be. We have a shoe shine sponge. Shaving cream and a razor. All right, we have a comb. We have a dental kit. We have 2 dental kits, actually. That is so wonderful. That's the first hotel, too, that I've seen a lot of these amenities, like shaving or comb or dental kit. Like, that's really great. All right, we have soaps and stuff. Hello. And down here, we have robes. Oh, can't wait to get into that later, and some art on the wall. Let's check out the shower here without getting ourselves soaking wet. So it's Rituals is the brand here. Just gonna move the towel. All right, let's try and do this without soaking ourselves. We're gonna turn up the heat first so I can test and see how hot it gets. Woo! Oh, it's already super warm. Whoa. Let's turn that off. There we go. All right, folks, so I think that's pretty much it for my room review here at the H10 Palazzo Canova. So let's kick it back to the main review and let's see how I feel after one night staying here. All right, so right out of the gate, let's start off with my highlights of the H10 Palazzo Canova. So my first highlight is actually the rooftop terrace, La Terrazza rooftop bar. This has one of the best views of the Grand Canal that I've seen so far in Venice, especially if you go at golden hour, right as the sun is about to set. Gorgeous lighting, gorgeous views of the Grand Canal. You can see gondolas going down. You can see people living their lives out in the Grand Canal. I would say grab a drink here. We stayed here in March. So my mom and I both had a tea up there. It was a little bit chilly, but they had heaters. They gave us blankets. It was nice and cozy, and we just watched the sunset. It was fantastic. And my second highlight is the room itself. I love this room. It has really high ceilings. It feels so bright, airy, and contemporary. As I said in my room walkthrough, the colors were chosen specifically to match Venice. So if you like a really contemporary hotel, this is the place to be. And my third highlight is the bed. So the bed actually is kind of split into two. It's almost like it's two twins side by side. And so my mom and I, we could not feel each other wiggle at all during the night. We both mentioned this morning actually that we had like the best sleep of our stay so far here in Venice. And they also have 3 different types of pillows on the bed, which I have not seen. This is now my 6th hotel here in Venice. I have not seen this at any other hotel. So they have 3 different pillows depending on what density you like. You can choose a pillow for you. I think that is such a special amenity. And now getting into the mosquito net portion. So a big issue that we found so far staying here in Venice, especially in March, is that the air conditioning is not on in most hotels this time of year, which is understandable. It's just a little bit too chilly outside. However, if you keep the windows closed at night, it gets so hot in the room that we actually slept on top of the covers for many of our stays so far. But if you open the windows, there are mosquitoes in Venice. So we were getting bitten by bugs throughout the night, neither of which option is necessarily ideal. What I love about the H10 Palazzo Canova is they have mosquito nets on the windows that you can pull open and close. So you can still have that open Venetian view of the city street or the canal, or you can pull it closed, have your window open at night and be nice and cool. I can't tell you how big of a deal this was for us. Really quickly, some other things about the room. There is a desk. There's a nice big chaise. There's a lot of cabinets where you can put your stuff. In the bathroom, I liked that it had a nice large shower. The water pressure was really good. The water stayed hot the whole time. I just really love this room, again, for its bright and airy feeling. There's a lot of seating in here as well. So if you're like, have a group of friends, you have other people, and you want to come and lounge in the room, it's a great spot for that. About the service, everyone here was so nice, smiley, and lovely. Immediately upon check-in, we got here a little bit early, so they stashed our bags for us for a couple hours, but they offered us drinks upon check-in. And then when we actually did get up to our room, the porter brought up our bags. Everyone was just very accommodating. And then this morning at breakfast, we went to go have breakfast. And yeah, I loved all the staff there as well. So talking about the breakfast, my mom and I had breakfast included as part of our room. I really liked it. So of course you have your meats, you have cheese, yogurt, cereal, juice, all that kind of stuff. But then they also have a menu with a la carte options that are also included in breakfast. So we had our choice of eggs. My mom had the waffle. I actually had a fried egg this morning. And you have a selection of coffee as well. I think this is a great value for money. I would definitely get the breakfast again if I were to stay here. And I have to talk about the location. So like I mentioned earlier, we are just mere steps from the Rialto Bridge. It takes maybe 3 minutes to walk to the Rialto Bridge. So if you want to get those really early morning shots without all of the other tourists in them, I would recommend staying here. But we're actually, like I said, in the district of San Polo, not in San Marco. San Marco is where you're going to find Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Basilica, all of that kind of stuff, which are the main tourist sites. San Polo is on the other side of the Rialto Bridge, which has a ton of restaurants, bars, shopping, all that kind of stuff. But just even here in March, there's a huge difference in the amount of people. In San Marco, you're like elbow to elbow with other tourists as you're walking down the street. It can feel kind of suffocating. And I can imagine it even gets more so in the summertime. San Polo, along the Grand Canal, it can be very busy and kind of has that feeling too. There's a lot of kind of more touristy restaurants lining the Grand Canal. Great photo op. I'm not saying don't go there. But if you want a little bit more of a local feel of Venice, you don't have to go very far into San Polo to get that vibe. And I loved that. We went to a bakery last night. We had a great interaction with the local baker. It's just a lot more local, You still have a lot of tourists, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit more of a mix of locals and tourists in San Polo versus San Marco. As for my pros and cons, so my pros of this hotel are, once again, I love the location in San Polo. I just went out about this, but I have to say it's a great location for a little bit of local life, but you're also, really close to all of the main sites, which is actually my pro number 2. You're also very close to the main sites, so it doesn't take very far to get to Rialto Bridge, to all of the St. Mark's Basilica, the Square, Doge's Palace, all of that. My third pro is the La Terrazza rooftop bar. Again, this is one of the best views that I've had so far in Venice. It has a view of the Grand Canal. Go up there at sunset. You won't regret it. You're going to get great photos and videos up there. And my fourth pro is the really big, bright, and airy rooms. I have to stress that again. It just feels so good to be in this room with the colors, the big windows, the mirrors, all of it. It just feels really good to be in this hotel. And for cons, so I kind of struggled to come up with cons, to be honest with you. But if I had to have one little nitpicky thing, this is a personal preference. It's nothing against the hotel. I like a tub in my room. I like to be able to have a soak at the end of the day, just relax, kind of shake off, the hustle and bustle of the day. I tried to look online to see if there were specifically any rooms with tubs. I would check with the hotel. If this is a big point for you, I would check with the hotel to see which room exactly has tubs in it, because I couldn't find a really definitive answer. But that's such a small nitpicky thing. Honestly, our stay here was so great. I have no other cons. Okay, and who is this hotel for and who is it maybe not for? I think that this hotel would be really great if you're couples. I think it's great for groups of friends. The rooms, like I said, are so nice and spacious, and there's a lot of seating. So if you want to sit around, have a couple drinks or something in the room itself, it's great for groups of friends. I would also say it's good for families. I have seen a few families here so far. There's a lot of space, even in the lounge area for kids to kind of spread out. You can also request cribs to be up in the room, so good for families. And I think even business travelers would enjoy the H10 Palazzo Canova. The Wi-Fi here is super great. And there's a big lounge downstairs too. So if you need to take a bit of a business meeting or something, you could do that down there. So yeah, good for a lot of different folks. Now, for who shouldn't stay at the H10 Palazzo Canova, I would say the main group that should not stay here is if you like that old world Venice feeling, style. Maybe this hotel isn't for you. It's very contemporary. To be honest, besides little details like the murals of Venice in the room and stuff, this hotel could be anywhere in the world. It's not particularly Venetian, except for maybe the colors, but again, that's a really small little detail. So if this hotel is not for you, by the way, like I said, I stayed at 12 hotels in Venice, and I have a full guide to where to stay in Venice on travellemming.com. I also have 12 hotel written reviews of each hotel I'm staying at and a full playlist here on YouTube. So you can find all of the links for those in the description box below. And what I paid. So I stayed here in March of 2026, and in total I paid $393, and this included breakfast for both my mom and I. This actually equates to 342 euros. And again, this was for one night in a Superior double with city view. I think it's really good value for money. Again, if you're only here for 1 or 2 nights in Venice, it's so close to all of the main sites, but you do get that local feel. If I had to choose one place and I wanted to be really close to the Rialto Bridge for those great sunset views, I would choose the H10 Palazzo Canova for sure. And if you do want to book this hotel, make sure you do so as far in advance as possible. Even when I was booking this hotel here in March, hotel rooms were booking so fast, you couldn't guarantee that from one day to the next it was still going to be available. So as soon as you know your dates for Venice, make sure to book this hotel. Also, I have to mention that if you do like this hotel, you do want to book it, Travel Lemming does have affiliate relationships with all of the main booking sites, including booking.com. So we have an affiliate link in the description box below. Also, like I said, if you want to book the H10 Palazzo Canova, but you want to do a little bit more due diligence, I have a full written review of this hotel also linked in the description box below. And again, if you like this video, please go ahead, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We would really appreciate it. And if you like this video, you might like this one next. Ciao!